I hope none of my pioneers are being foolish, getting fooled, becoming fools this month. Because that's not what life is about. Life is not about having $1 million, being a celebrity. It's not about proving others wrong, but proving yourself right. Life is not about competing against others, but competing against yourself. Competing to be better than you were yesterday, a year ago, or even an hour ago. Life is not about being perfect. Life is about moving forward and learning from your previous self, your mistakes, not judging them or others. Life is not about being right all the time, but being considerate to those who are wrong. Can I get a hello? Life is full of choices. The choice to be kind, choice to love, the choice to care. Whenever you get the chance, any chance you get, choose love, abundance, and caring. Life is not about dwelling in the negatives and the setbacks. It's about creating something positive and hurdling your obstacles. Life is not about you, just you. It's about the world around you. Because without you, the world cannot exist. You hear me, pioneers? And how are you going to fit into this world? Now that you know this, each and every one of us is connected. We are all one. Connected by our challenges and our struggles. So whenever you see an opportunity to lift someone up, to give a helping hand during a time of struggle, do it. Not to make you feel better, but to do a selfless act. Because that can have a huge impact on someone else. Even a simple, "You got this. Good job. You're doing awesome," can brighten someone's life. As the great Coach Abe says here on the Daily Candle Close News and the Pioneer Academy, carry out one act of kindness out of your heart with no expectation of an award. Safe in the knowledge and gnosis and wisdom that one day someone might do the same exact for you. Life is not all about money and financial abundance. Sure, we talk about it here, but sure, having money can be helpful to you and someone in need. But at the end of the day, can you take it with you if you leave? The only money we ever truly have, the only money that can ever truly give anyone a purpose, is our mindset and what we do with it. That's what counts. What do you do with the money? That's what counts. It's not about having $1 million in the bank. It's about reaching 10 million people. Life is not about comparing yourself to others, regardless of how tempting it may be. Comparing yourself to others does nothing but harm to you. Some may see it as motivation, but you will always know and be the person you've always been meant to be. You can always learn from others what you can always learn from yourself what you can never learn from others. Stop focusing on others and only focus on you and what you are doing. Focus on being the best you can be. Be all that you can be. Your life is not determined by your circumstances, your setbacks. It's not determined by your experience. You're defined by how you choose to act, your choices, despite those other factors. Hard times are going to come and go, pioneers, as they please. We ain't got no control over it. But you can choose to sit back and let it happen, or you can choose to look at it as a growing opportunity, a growth spurt, and learn from it. Never lose yourself in the process, because our greatest challenge is our opportunity to become self. You are the rainbow that shines through every storm. Can I get a hello? no abundance of money could ever amount to the joy you can bring to this world. Don't ever forget that, pioneers. Life is what you make it out to be. So live every day like you are grateful to simply be alive. Live life like it's a blessing, because it is. Because what you believe in your hearts and speak in your minds will eventually become your words and your reality one day. And what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset. And what gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset becomes an unconscious action and an unconscious activity. So I'm sending you all much love and high vibrations as we get ready to watch Bitcoin pump right back up to close to 29,000, the top of our bull pennant that we see drawn here with these two yellow trend lines. Just continuing to get support on the bottom side of this and bounce back up, heading up to our rejection range of 29K or 1618 golden ratio. So sending you all much love and high vibrations out to wherever you are in the matrix and galaxy. Hope you're doing well. Kick back, relax. I'm going to do a short video talking about a little cryptocurrency technical analysis and how April is the month of fools. Do not be fooled this month. Do not be a fool and foolish in April. So let's go ahead and continue to talk about this and how it's important to how we're seeing the markets play out in this uptrend leading into April and our next solar eclipse on 4/20, National Pot Smoking Day, or Hitler's birthday, they tell us. So very important that 4-2, the 42 number, is tied to everything. Reincarnation, rain, math, all giving us 42 when we type that out. So, math is everything, and we try and teach you that here while we teach you finance, because everything is math. We use math in our everyday lives to forecast the weather, to tell what time it is, the date, the year even. We use math to handle money, which is what we talk about here. Math can often be used to solve and analyze patterns, puzzles, and crimes. Math is more than just numbers, formulas, equations, and fractions. It is simply logic, common sense, rationality, and always true. So using our minds and math combined, we can solve some of the biggest hidden secrets in this realm and matrix, because everything is numbers. So April, again, going to be a pretty important month for us to pay attention to. So let's do this. But alright, before we get started, I want to talk about the latest narrative and distraction that's hit the world stage. You saw it in my thumbnail in this video. But yesterday, amazingly, on the 3/30 date, drop the zero, you get the 3-3, that very powerful transmutaic number of 33. Water freezes or unfreezes at 33 degrees, freezes at 32. Okay, so signifying the transmutation state. Jesus prophesied for 33 years, the 33-degree Freemasons, etc. that we hear all around this 33 number. So yesterday on 3/30, we were getting news all around the world that Pope Poppy Francis was hospitalized. So let's do a little decode around that and why I don't want you to be fooled. Because if you date this back to the start of the Jewish Hebrew New Year and Rosh Hashanah, okay, it started on September 25th, 2022, a day that added up to 76 in numerology. Leading into yesterday, 3/30, drop the zero, you get the 33, being another day that added up to 76 in numerology. Very important. We'll be talking about this in just a minute, but it's a span of 187 days, and we see Pope Poppy Francis was hospitalized, 187 being the penal code for murder. Okay, so very important. Tying us into some of our favorite pals like the Society of Jesus, giving us that 187. Imagine that. So very important. Our Jesuit pals. Okay, the Roman Catholic Church, he's part of the Jesuits. He's the very first ever known Jesuit Pope. So very important. So giving us that 187, being a 187 day span into the Jewish Hebrew New Year, a 6-month and 6-day time period, tying us into, well, again, math, because that's what everything is, giving us that same 66. Okay, we'll get deeper in that in a moment. Okay, but this is all happening during the 13th week of the year, and we know 13 is tied to the death card in tarot. So I want to bring that up real quick. Boom, the 13th card in the tarot deck is the death card. Okay, so in the 13th week of the year, we get news around Pope Poppy Francis heading into the hospital, you guys. Not surprising, again, being 187 day, the penal code for murder. So not surprising to get this news around the Bishop of Rome, okay? So pretty important right here. I'm going to bring this up, just another narrative that we see at the same time Trump finally getting indicted. So expect to see him get arrested. Another narrative and false flag on the world stage to get you broke, lost, distracted, and confused. But we'll be talking about this more because, I mean, there's a lot going on right now, you guys, and we got to pay attention because when they have you look one way, we need to always look the other way. Now, is it ironic that all this news is smashing into the system and the matrix right now, pioneers? No, it's not a coincidence, okay? As we have one of the biggest controversial shifts in our lifetime happening, not only with finance, geopolitical, economic, all happening at the same time. Bank runs. We just previously watched a few bank runs. Silicon Valley Bank. All this happening at the same time. Did you know how much debt is held outside of the United States? I mean, you'd be surprised. Okay, we're bankrupt, you guys. So 33%, imagine that, 33%, that 33 number, is held outside of the United States. It's held by two countries, mostly. Okay, the biggest holders are Japan and China. Okay, so think about this for a moment. Alright, we have no liquidity in our banks. Pope's in the hospital. Silicon Valley Bank's collapsing. You know, we've seen Terra Luna, Celsius, BlockFi, Three Arrows Capital, all this nonsense over the last few months. Piling up, just like 1971, just like 2001, all over again. Okay? Our FDIC has been preparing for bail-in since 2012. And then they had a bail-in meeting in December of 2022 introducing Jay Clayton on the board for the FDIC as part of the board, you guys. Getting this ready. They've been doing this since Obama in 2012, getting ready for this upcoming collapse that we're going to witness. Okay? So why are we pumping into April? I'll teach you. This normal monetary system is about to fail. It cannot continue. Problem, reaction, solution. The Hegelian dialectic. We teach you this, and I've been saying, going into April, leading into May, sell in May, and walk away. We're going to witness some of the biggest changes in our life. Mark my words. And if it's not in April, it's going to be in October. But I'm very keen on something happening leading into May that sends us back in a downtrend leading into October. So there's some big meetings happening within the big banks of the world. Wells Fargo. All this is happening right now next month. Don't be a fool this month. If you're up in finances, take advantage. Not financial advice. Don't FOMO into markets that are up 40+% over the last 30 plus or minus days. Not good advice to do that. Again, the Pope's in the hospital. Trump's going to be the first former president to get indicted and arrested. Okay? So as you look one way, there's going to be another narrative going on. Okay? This right here is going to be some of the biggest news that's going to distract you from taking advantage with your finance and preparing yourself for the future, to eat fruit in the future, to provide for your families and livelihood before we see an economic collapse. This isn't the things that you're going to see on the news. They're not going to teach you this. Coach Abe here at the Daily Candle Close News is. Everybody's going to be focused on the nonsense and their TikToks and their WAP videos and their March Madness sporting events and nonsense. But we're not. Okay? So let's do a little technical analysis. Well, let's continue to decode this Pope Poppy Francis that was hospitalized, because I'm not done with that. We know his birthday, if you look right here, was December 17th. Saturnalia, the start of the pagan Roman festival, Saturnalia, okay? Giorgio Bergoglio is what I call him. But we're about to see an event happen around him. Maybe him exit stage left again. That 187 number right there, that 66 that ties us to, well, we saw Corona targeting your 7th chakra, giving us 96. The Queen died at 96. The 66 at 33. We got the news yesterday on 3:30. But very important, all as a ritual sacrifice during the time period we are in right now, being a 40-day ritual that started on March 22nd, 322, the Skull and Bones number, in the 223 year, the Skull and Bones year, leading into Mayday, May 1st, being a 40-day time period, okay? The 13 days from April 18th to May 1st, leading into Beltane, a sacrifice ritual to Moloch and Baal. We get this 96, the Queen died at 96, the 66 that we see right there, tying us into the 6 months, 6 days, going back to the start of the Rosh Hashanah and the Jewish Hebrew New Year, that we get this news around Pope Poppy Francis. And remember, we just witnessed Queen Elizabeth die on the world stage, giving us that same 66 and that 69. And remember, she died around the harvest full moon. So harvest giving us that same 96, and harvest moon giving us that full moon, giving us that same 66 and 69 as well. So could we be getting ready to watch Giorgio Bergoglio, the first Jesuit Pope, exit stage left, you guys? I do think so, because I do think this 33 where we got the news is tying us into just like we saw the Queen and her ascension, giving us that same 33, that very powerful 144, tying us into, well, the 144,000 chosen, they tell us. So very important. But when we take this man's birthday of December 17th last year, his most recent birthday, and tie it to yesterday, we get an amazing connection of 3 months and 14 days, tying us into Pi, the never-ending story, the Ouroboros, the life, death, rebirth, the constant we use in math, okay? So tying us back into a constant right here, the circle, the full circle. So everything always comes back full circle. So again, very powerful. This day again adds up to 76. Yesterday, or the day of the start of the Jewish Hebrew New Year, adds up to 76 as well. Why is that important? It's tying us back full circle again to our favorite pals, Skull and Bones, giving us that same 76, that 4-1 we get in tomorrow's date, April Fool's Day. You guys, I know a lot of you are saying this is old age and why we might be seeing the Pope die and why the Queen left, and well, you would be a fool to believe that, okay? Period. It is all designed by math and numbers. Again, pi ratio 314 gives us an amazing, when I spell 100 correctly, gives us an amazing connection to 322, the Skull and Bones number, okay? This pi ratio 314 is known as the birthplace of humanity. And what is the birthplace of humanity? It is numbers 314 pi, that same 76, tying us into our favorite lizard pals, Skull and Bones at Yale University. So very important that we see this, and why we're seeing this news, okay? Remember, the Pope's birthday was on the 17th of December, tying us into Kiel 17. So not surprising, okay? Could we get ready to see Bitcoin hit 33K because we got this news yesterday and we're pushing towards breaking 29 and reaching 30K. Could we reach up to 32.2 in the 223 year, 321, or 33K? Very possible, because if you remember, when the Queen died, we fell. Alright, we fell to a low of 18,700, 187, and have been consolidating in that range. Fell to an even lower lower low of 15.5, and then have been in an uptrend ever since to where we are at now, almost double at 30K. So, almost double 15.5 right now. So very important that we see this. What could we see around some scripted events like the former president, the orange guy, getting arrested, or the Pope's death? Who knows? One thing we could pay attention to is a scripted, volatile move for the markets, while everybody else is distracted around the narratives. Okay, so get ready to take advantage, whether it's a buying opportunity, an accumulation opportunity, or a de-risking opportunity to the upside. So, that's pretty much it on the Pope, other than the fact that he's 86 years old, and if we were to see him die before December this year, I guess he would have been, 86th. So, don't be a fool and caught up around the narratives as we get ready to exit out of the 13th week of the year, where we're getting all of this news. So it's so very important. But yeah, 314, 31,400 possibly in the cards, you guys. We'll do a little bit more TA, maybe look at XRP and Ethereum, and then get off of here. But again, welcome back to the Daily Candle Close News, where we do things different, and we go over the markets almost weekly. Jumping back into the market with Bitcoin, we see today, 2-hour time frame, Bitcoin pumping back up to the top side of this bull flag that me and Awakened Soul were talking about last night on the Thursday night hangout. So if you haven't seen that yet, go and watch it on Rumble. And another amazing Thursday night hangout with the Waters Wolfpack. Some beautiful souls on there talking about TA and life for 5 hours, you guys. My longest recorded video yet. So huge shout out to Awakened Soul. Another indicator she shared with us was the Sonar Lab, the order books, and we see this accumulation range that we've been in, obviously, getting right back up to our de-risking range, or where the pressure is coming in. So you can consider this a liquidity range, a demand and a supply and demand zone. So very important. Either way you want to look at it, but breaking back up towards the top side of this bull flag we were talking about as well, this bull pennant that we've been in on the 2-hour time frame. So bullish. If we were to get a measured move, just from a high to low, and we bring this to the apex of our triangle and a breakout move, we could be looking at $33,000 Bitcoin. So again, just confirming what we were talking about with why we're seeing this news around the Pope, the 33, and just very important scripted numbers. This measured move taking us to 33K wouldn't be surprising. So big shout out to Awakened Soul Crypto. This is my channel, Daily Candle Close News. Be sure to follow. But if you haven't followed Awakened Soul Crypto yet, you guys, and I always spell awake wrong, be sure to give her a follow. Boom. Alright, be sure to give her a follow right here, you guys. Awakened Soul Crypto. She does amazing, beautiful TA filled with love. So want to get that support out there to her. And huge shout out to the indicators. But anyways, and Duke Doobie as well last night for your beautiful TA. Can't forget you. But anyway, getting back up to this top side of 29K, something we need to pay attention to. Okay, I see a lot of people drawing this pattern right now, a lot of different ways, this bull pennant. So just this is how we got it right now. At this point, it looks like it's just ranging though, consolidating sideways. Okay, so again, a bull pennant, a bull flag, hopefully waiting to break up to the upside. Okay, so we do want higher prices out of Bitcoin. We need to break though 29,000. You see this wick that came in on the 29th of March before we got our downtrend the next day, 3:30, when the news around the Pope came out and the news around the orange guy came out. Okay, you see, bringing us back to our accumulation range, basically getting close to this horizontal trading range that I put down here, 27,200, palindrome for 272, 2772, Bitcoin equals 72, currency equals 27. We talk about money. Okay, so almost hitting that, but holding support of the heart line of our long time existing bear flag that ended up turning into a parallel channel. Okay, so because we were pretty adamant about 15k being the low, so we knew to keep this into play going into the future. So major support of the heart line. We fell below it back here, resistance, resistance, breakout, resistance, breakout, support, support, and we're starting to get another breakout. So we want to break 29k on the short term time frame, this 1618, and start closing 2-hour candles above it. So we can see that over the course of the past several days, I don't know, what's this, 2 weeks going on now, since our first breakout to now, 17 days, not surprising, leading into 18 days, almost 3 weeks we've been consolidating. Okay, we previously had a breakdown of this rising wedge, 68% chance of a breakdown. It's supposed to happen. Bearish retest of the 1618, bearish retest with this wick. Okay, so one thing we need to pay attention to is how bullish right now these pullbacks in Bitcoin are getting filled. Everybody's wanting to buy the dip. Okay, people have missed out on the 15k low, the 16k, the golden ratio of 5 at 16,100, the 17, 18. They missed out, so they're wanting to FOMO into green candles. Okay, because they have the fear of missing out. All right, or they just keep thinking that Bitcoin's gonna just reverse and go to 8k right now. And I'm just not into that. I'm pretty bullish right now that we're still holding support of these horizontal ranges that have obviously been going back in time, especially if you look at this on a more weekly time frame. Let's just go to this right here. We're about to regain a level. If we get a weekly close above this horizontal trading range, we're about to regain a level that goes back years as a floor. That's been a resistance for quite some time. So I'm just not bullish that we're about to go back down. Now, if we get a black swan event, some major news, a fake alien invasion, the Pope dying, the orange guy getting arrested, war narrative, whatever, we could possibly go back down. But 9, 11, 12, anything under 15k right now, I'm just not so adamant about, you guys. Okay, so this is what has to happen right now for us, okay, us pioneers, for a move to 30,000, 31,400, that pi range, or that 32,200, that skull and bone range, that 33k. We're going to need the bulls to come in. We're going to need a lot of volume to come into this market to confirm price action to the upside. Okay, we want to see this thick line and this 1618 broken, support back test held. Okay, so boom. All right, that's what we want to see. Okay, so we don't want to see a break of this level, rejection, a break of these two exponential moving averages, and to come back in this range. Okay, if we do, that's bullish, because we're still setting a higher high and a higher low. So this is accumulation, not financial advice. Okay, but paying attention, because we are entering April, the month of fools, where you can be fooled by these markets, leading into April 6th, which is the full moon of April. We tend to get bearish energy in the markets, and chaos equals 46 in numerology. So could we fall back to around this liquidity range right here of the golden pocket from our previous high to low where we're getting this 1618? Could we come back down to the 888 around 24,000? We'll say 24,000 even, but 24.5. We don't really want to break 24.2. Okay, 242, a palindrome for 24 and 42. Okay, we don't want to break that, because then we'd be starting to set a lower low in structure. Even though we have a higher high, we'd be confirming a downtrend. So very important. All right, so let's continue this. This is a textbook retest level. Okay, so remember that. So if we get no pullback, no deep retrace, because everybody wants to buy it, remember, when Bitcoin is really bullish, you don't get the pullbacks that you want in this market. Okay, when you're in a bear market and you're waiting on a pump, you get pullbacks all the time. Okay, and we've been in a bear market for over a year, and we've been waiting on a pump. Okay, so we've got the pump now. So don't expect pullbacks now that we're bullish, especially now that we see the Bitcoin dominance just tearing through the roof at 47 right now. Again, falling back in line with another ascending trend line, but we tend to get stopped out over time around this 49 range, 48, 49, 50 range. So, got multiple tops right here. High, lower high. Right now setting up lower high over time. So still in a downtrend, which is not uncommon for the Bitcoin dominance chart, because when you look at it over time on like the monthly view, it's always, since inception, been in a downtrend. So again, when Bitcoin dominance is raging to the upside, we want to pay attention, because it's not going to be as bullish for our altcoins, and it's going to show more dominance for the Bitcoin market and the asset to continue its rally to the upside. But if it starts pulling back, then we can expect possibly for Bitcoin to pull back as well. Okay, not financial advice. Alright, and it's hard to consider the dominance chart as true technical analysis when you now have like 23,000 cryptos. So just saying, anyways, bulls need to step in to continue this breakout. Okay, we gotta break this out to the upside, like we've been talking about. Alright, a little bit more to talk about, then we'll look at Ethereum, XRP. But anyways, so again, we dumped around the 29th immediately after. Again, 29K is the range we're looking to break. It happened on the 29th of the month. I'm not surprised to see that synchronicity in the charts and being a downtrend since then. Again, if you look at this is a multi-year resistance on any chart. Okay, going back in time, multi-year resistance. All right, right here, boom. If the bulls don't break it on the first day, I'm not surprised. Okay, all right, because so many people are trying to take profits right now, and this is a range where probably some are de-risking, but probably not fully. Okay, so I think we're consolidating, getting ready to break out of this megaphone pattern, this bullish pattern to the upside, to around 32.2 and 38K. Okay, so we're still holding a major resistance level, all right, that we want to flip as support and move on up. Okay, so Bitcoin's bullish right now, and I can't reiterate that enough, especially in this bullish pennant, this bull flag. Last night I said it was a bear flag, and I slaughtered the Ethereum price charts and kept saying ridiculous price ranges, but that's what happens when you're up 23 hours, go on a 5-hour live stream. But again, we're paying attention to see a 33K potential breakout of this bull flag, this bull pennant. And every time we get these long wick reversal theories, we want to pay attention to them, okay? Because we're going to come back down. Just like a long wick theory to the downside, like right here. We're showing buy pressure coming to market, and we're going to go back up. We consolidated, got another kind of long wick theory, and we're bought right back up. So pay attention to these long wick theories that I try and teach you here. Okay, this is showing rejection, a sell wall coming in, a wick that long, boom, and now we're pumping quickly. So pay attention. Another long wick theory could come in. This is again, multi-year resistance level we want to break. So that's enough for Ethereum, or for Bitcoin. We'll go to Ethereum, and yeah, breaking 1800, you guys. Just again showing a lot of long wick theories and resistance levels at the $1,800 range for Ethereum, dating back all the way to 2021 as well. So a lot of cluster and liquidity in these ranges. A little bit of resistance, some support, really held at $1,730, but either way, this is our 236 from high to low when we pull a fib. So breaking right now above this 236 could easily get us right there to around $2,400 Ethereum easily. We got to break this trend line. It's just a line, you guys. I don't think it'd be hard when we start closing 2-hour daily candle closes above this 236 Fibonacci extension range. I mean, we could easily rocket up another 33%. Amazing. You can't make this up. ETH equals 33. Giving us that 33 to add to our decode tonight. Amazing. So very important. Just pay attention to this. We were preaching that we were bullish out of this broadening falling wedge pattern. We had a breakout. We came and held this 1200, 1250 psychological as support range, broke out of it, and just kept climbing and stair-stepping up ever since, getting back above the 322 and the 223 exponential moving averages. We want to see this yellow flip this blue, to both of them curl up and get a flip, because when we do, we tend to see some euphoric price action, like back here for 2 years. When this yellow flip this blue, well, you know, enough is said. Back here the same thing. When the yellow's above the blue, we tend to get bullish. Now this, if it does flip, will probably be a short-lived time period. So it could get touch and get rejected and not flip the blue. So that's another thing to pay attention to as well. But we are obviously in an uptrend, setting higher highs over time with higher lows. So very important. It could get a retest around roughly $1,600. So we'll pay attention to that. XRP, the one that everybody's screaming about on the world stage right now. Are you guys bullish? Are y'all bullish about XRP? Don't be. Okay? You should have been bullish back here at 32 cents, back here at 32 cents, and back here, and back here, and anything under 40 cents, like we were preaching, going all the way back a year now, since last May, giving you a year to accumulate, de-risk, accumulate again, and then de-risk. So if you're getting bullish on an asset that's up roughly, 77% plus or minus, you're FOMOing into an asset in the market at the wrong time, and this is not the mindset we teach here, okay? We are bullish when it is boring and bloody in these markets. We buy the blood in the street, even if it's our own. We eat and plant seeds in the future. We plant seeds so we can eat in the future, okay? So if you're bullish on XRP right now, because maybe you missed the train and you don't have none or whatever, well, I would wait for a nice corrective wave instead of following into an asset that's up 70 plus or minus percent, almost 80%. That's, again, yes, probably going to continue to climb towards this 62 cent range. And this, I'm going to say 69, Bitcoin hit a 69K top. Ripple, when we do the numerology and gematria around Ripple, we get 76 and 86. So around that 76 and 86 cent launch pad theory that we used to talk about here on the Daily Candle Close News and a lot of our XRP TA. We can really see this market get euphoric above that 76 and 86 cent range. It can easily shoot up above $1 to around $1.10, $1.12, which will be right there in line with our 0.5 fib. A pretty cautious range, especially in stocks and Forex, for a dead cat bounce. So again, that'd be a 245% plus or minus gain from the low. And I better not catch my pioneers being bullish any of this territory around XRP in the month of April if we continue to climb up leading into sell in May and walk away. Okay, so not financial advice. So sitting at 53 cents right now. Hit a high of 58 cents. When you look at this right here, the high, we hit that on the 29th. Imagine that. Same day as Bitcoin hit its 29K top, we hit 58, and XRP equals 58 in numerology. Something we've shared for over 2 years now is how this code works. Pay attention to next week, the 14th and the 15th week of the year for this asset, okay? Very, very important, okay? So we're going to continue to discuss this 14th and 15th week of the year more moving forward, but it's something we've done for 3 years now around XRP and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now 14 years old, and that ties us back into God 14 or time 14, okay? So very important. Got a lot of 14 connections that we can pay attention to as we head into the 14th and 15th week of the year, okay? So with all that being said, we're probably going to sign off of this one. Take care, and God bless, pioneers. Rise, build your fortress, and build your legacy.